Looks like we are dual streaming. Um, yeah, it looks like I'm streaming on both YouTube and Rumble. So I'm going to do the whole show here. I guess YouTube, you're lucky, you get the whole show. I did a brief 15-minute on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel now. It's just called Shane Garrett. That's it. It's very easy to find. And then still doing Rumble. The YouTube show will be a pre-show. So if you're watching on YouTube and you're wondering what this is, it's a daily news show. Just a normal person talking about the news. Instead of the extreme bias of Fox and CNN, you get just, your everyday, normal, average Joe's bias. You get a normal person's thoughts on the news. So we've got a couple stories I want to touch on. We have the Ukrainian woman who was stabbed on the subway. We've got the drone strike on the boat in Venezuela. I wanted to talk about that. And then we have the Justice Department is thinking about banning trans gun ownership. And I'm not for it. That's a slippery slope. That's a fucking yikes for me. Okay? Straight up, not a fan. I don't like it. I don't like it. Some people say we should do it. I say it's not a good idea. Not a good idea. There was also I didn't save this. I didn't write it down. I might have put it on X. I didn't put it on X. So long story short, I wish I would have put that on X. That would have been. A long story short, who's the lady? The AG, Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi is talking about how they did away with sanctuary cities for illegal immigrants. Slippery slope, because Pam Bondi said, and I quote, "Sanctuary cities are not a thing in this country." I might have butchered the quote. Something along those lines. I think that's what she said. I digress. So Pam Bondi said sanctuary cities aren't a thing. Well, that's a slippery slope, because now when the gun grabbers come and we say, no, this is a sanctuary city, they just pull up that clip of Pam Bondi saying sanctuary cities aren't a thing, and there's your argument gone. Now, I guess you could argue that illegal immigration is not a constitutional right, so sanctuary cities don't apply to crime. However, sanctuary cities do apply to constitutional rights. I guess you could make an argument there. I don't like it. Slippery slope. Not a fan. Not a fan. That's another yikes for me. I'm not a fan of Pam Bondi, if I'm being quite honest. I think Pam Bondi's a bit of a moron. I don't think she has good ideas. I don't think she doesn't do well. Okay, she's kind of an idiot. Kind of hot though. So I mean, you take the good with the bad, and there you have my argument. If you get that reference, if you get the reference, I would love for you to drop a comment. Let me know if you get it. All right, let's see. Well, I'm also dying. I think I have a slight sinus infection. I've had drainage for like 3 days. My throat's wrecked, which is why videos didn't come out last week. I did one, and then just my face. I felt like I got punched in the face by a Golden Gloves boxer, and I've been punched in the face by a Golden Gloves boxer, so I know what that feels like. Anyway, Justice Department. Oh, sorry. From the AP. Justice Department talks about banning transgender gun owners spark fury across political spectrum. Just straight up no. Just straight up no. Now, do I think that there's an issue in the trans community when it comes to mental health? Yes. Yes, there is. Huge problem. I do not think that trans surgeries should be allowed until hormones are balanced for the person's actual gender. Not the gender they believe they are, but the gender they are born as. I think after hormones are balanced for your gender, if you're a woman and you think you're a man, and we're going to balance your hormones, and then we're going to put you through a psychological evaluation to make sure you're thinking clearly before we, start changing your body permanently. I don't think that's extreme by any means, but, some people will call me a fascist, a Nazi, a racist, whatever. I don't know what it is. Homophobe, is that the one? Whatever. I don't care. Shut up. You're a nerd. Nobody likes you. Not a nerd in the good way either, like the Dungeons and Dragons kind of nerd. You're a nerd like in the I wish somebody would push you in the locker kind of way. Anyway, yeah, no banning gun ownership at all. If Trump does this, if Trump's DOJ does this, I would be pro removing Trump from office. I would if Trump didn't immediately fire all these people, I would be pro. The thing that they did that they never finished. Shit, what's it called? What Bill Clinton with it and the fucking fuck. What's it called? Impeachment. That's what it's called. I would be pro impeachment if Donald Trump bans gun ownership for transgender people. Slippery slope. Ain't a fan. Don't like it. No. Hard pass. So let's read. The Justice Department is drawing swift condemnation from gun rights groups and LGBTQ advocates alike after floating that it was considering restricting transgender people from owning guns. A move that would all but certainly face immediate constitutional challenges if ever implemented. The discussions come in the wake of the shooting at a Minneapolis Catholic school, last month that federal officials have said was carried out by a transgender shooter. According to a person familiar with the matter, the person who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss, I hate this. I hate when people speak. If you speak on the condition of anonymity, you could literally be the homeless guy outside of the office. It could just be the homeless guy outside of the AP's office. People that speak on the condition of anonymity aren't a reliable source. I'm sorry. I mean, the president could have called and been like, listen, I don't want him to know that this is what I think. I want him to be anonymous. And that's your right. But you're not a reliable source at that point. I'm sorry. If you're anonymous, you're not a reliable source. This is, a lot of people are like, why do you do this? Why do you make these videos? Don't you think people are going to think you're weird? Yeah, probably. This is why. Because people will look at this and be like, sources on the condition of anonymity, blah, blah, blah. And they don't even think about it. That could be anybody. That could just be some random dude calling and being like, I've studied this matter. I know this matter very deeply. I'm very familiar with this matter. I don't want to be named. It could be Alex Jones, or it could be a hobo. There's no in between. Or it could actually be like someone who works in the DOJ. I hate when I see the condition of anonymity. Like it's not a good source then. Find a better source. I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought here. Here's the problem. Transgender people are one of the highest suicide rates, and we're seeing an overwhelming majority of trans people carrying out mass shootings. I think that leans more to we need to help these people with their mental health before we go and cut off their genitals than it does to we need to ban them from owning guns. I don't ever think disarming people is the answer. I think getting these people the help they need. They've been sold a false bill of goods. They have been told, if you're a dude and you feel bad about yourself, cut your dick off and you'll be accepted. And then they do it and then they're not accepted. And they're like, I want to die, but I don't have the balls to kill myself because I chopped them off. So I'm going to go kill some kids. It's a fucked up situation, but it's the truth. And I know that's not saying that every trans person is going to do this. No, every trans person is not going to do this. But they have a much higher rate of, I think the past 6 mass shootings have all been trans people of some sort. There's a much higher rate of trans people committing violent acts, especially against churches, when they're told by mainstream media, the church hates you. The church doesn't think you should exist. You tell these people this over and over and over again, and of course they're going to target churches. The problem here is you have a very mentally unhealthy person, and on the other side, you have a very dangerous rhetoric getting pushed by a media that is not checked in any way and just says whatever to get clicks. You mix those two things, and of course you're going to get a mass shooting. Of course you are. You have a mentally ill person. And I don't mean that disparagingly. I mean legitimately. Like, they are mentally not well. They need help. They have issues that they need worked through. They need therapy. They need a hormone balance. Like, there's a lot of work that can go into before just, okay, yeah, we've decided we're going to chop your genitals off and send you on your way. And I believe even the most recent mass shooter said in his manifesto, I did what you wanted. I tried to become a girl like you wanted, and now I'm not a girl. I'm not a man. You've made me a monster. Like, I was sold a false bill of goods, and I can't go back. It was essentially, and part of me is empathetic for this person. Yeah, they're terrible for what they did. But part of me, when I heard that, was like, oh man, it's not surprising why this happened. After I heard that, I'm like, man, that is probably why all these people have done this. Now, I would like to move on because I think I've made my point. The answer here is help. The answer here is therapy. The answer here is hormone adjustments in the right direction. If you have someone saying, listen, I think I'm a man, and they're clearly a woman, and you give them a ton of testosterone, it's not going to fix whatever issue they're having. They have a hormonal imbalance. They have a mental condition. We need to be checking these things and having them talk it out with a therapist before they go through with the decision to permanently alter their body in a non-reversible way. And I'm not saying, no, they shouldn't be able to do that. You're an adult. I don't care what you do. But we shouldn't be telling you, you're a freak, you'll be loved if you do this, and then not even questioning it a little bit. You should probably have somebody check on you. You should probably have someone that's like, hey man, you good? You sure about this? Like, this is kind of a big deal. I understand, though, that could even be a slippery slope because, well, maybe you want a tattoo. Now you have to get government approval to get a tattoo. I think that would be too far. I think tattoos would fall under the First Amendment, though. I think they would fall under freedom of expression. I don't know if cutting off your genitals falls under freedom of expression. I certainly fucking hope not. Anyway, let's move on to our next story from The Independent. U.S. military kills 11 with missile strike on boat, quote, carrying drugs from Venezuela. Donald Trump claimed that a boat was carrying a lot of drugs when it was struck in the Caribbean Sea. If you don't like the way I say Caribbean, fuck off. I don't say Caribbean. I'm not a tool. When they were struck in the Caribbean Sea, the White House has said that 11 narco-terrorists were killed in a drone strike. Go away, Papa. 11 narco-terrorists were killed in a drone strike on a small vessel. It claimed it was carrying drugs from Venezuela to the U.S. in the Caribbean Sea. Sharing footage on his social media platform, Truth Social, President Donald Trump alleged the shipment was connected to a drug cartel, which he claimed was led by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. The night vision aerial footage shows a fast-moving boat exploding in a ball of flames after being struck by a missile. Please let this serve as notice to anyone. Wow, I just buffered hard there. I'm sorry. I don't know what that was. Please let this serve as notice to anyone even thinking about bringing drugs into the United States of America. Beware, Trump wrote in a post Tuesday after the attack. Excuse me. This sinus stuff is really terrible. He claimed there were a lot of drugs in the boat, adding, "You'll be seeing that, you'll be reading about that. These came out of Venezuela." Oh my God, I might not be able to finish a whole episode today. So let's move on for the sake of my vocal cords. let's move on to. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Let's move on to NDTV World. NDTV.com. Chilling video shows Ukrainian refugee stabbed to death on American train. I forget how to say her first name. Irana? Lorana? Irana? I don't know if that's an I or an L. Why did we... I'm going to guess it's an I. Irana Zartuska was brutally stabbed to death on a train by a career criminal. There we go. DeCarlos Brown Jr. waited 4 minutes, pulled out a folding knife, lunged forward, stabbing her 3 times in the neck. 3 times, at least once in the neck, police said. DeCarlos Brown was a 4-time convicted felon. DeCarlos Brown was not a good guy. And this story has been hidden from the mainstream. It's been suppressed because it doesn't fit the narrative. And as much as I hate to talk about this story twice, because this is the one I covered on YouTube originally, here we have it. I don't know if I'll be doing the whole of YouTube, the whole show on YouTube all the time, mostly just because I cover some stuff on here that I wouldn't be able to cover. It doesn't fit the narrative, and as much as that would be obnoxious. I don't know how. I don't think I can end YouTube and keep Rumble going. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm sure there's a way. Yeah. So I already talked about this on YouTube. So if you saw the first 15 minutes on YouTube, you already know how the story goes. If you haven't, however, we're gonna get into it. We will get into it. Yes, don't make fun of my gaming headset. Shut up, nerds. It's an old, shitty gaming headset, but it works for now until I can get Bluetooth figured out on the new computer.
Homeless.
All right, so let's listen to this fella. We'll listen to the whole video on here. We only listen to parts of it. We'll listen to the whole thing.
A Ukrainian woman was murdered by homeless men, but some media isn't reporting it, and it's a pattern of being silent when the killer is black and the victim is white, and loud when it's the opposite. On August 22nd, Irina Zarutska sat down on a bus in front of DeCarlos Brown. DeCarlos, for no apparent reason, stabbed her in the throat. This was cold-blooded murder. Irina was a white, blonde, Ukrainian refugee who fled the war. DeCarlos is a black, homeless, 4-time felon who just left jail. I hate that I even need to mention their skin colors, but I do. Because if this had been a white man murdering a black woman, this would be non-stop national news. And yet, the New York Times hasn't reported on it.
And like I said earlier today, look at the Daniel Penny case, where he choked out the black man that was threatening to murder people on the train and accidentally choked the man to death. It was news forever.
CNN hasn't reported on it. MSNBC hasn't reported on it. What do they all have in common? They're all on the left. This is clearly newsworthy. It touches multiple third rails: race, immigration, Ukraine war, homelessness, and crime. So why aren't they reporting on it? Because there's a race-based double standard in the media. Now, make no mistake, right-wing media like Fox News and New York Post are biased too. And here's the thing, the media is...
I wouldn't even call the New York Post right-wing.
Overwhelmingly...
I wouldn't even call Fox News right-wing. Fox News is kind of just, yeah, we're here.
Left-leaning. 30 to 60% of journalists are on the left. 5 to 7% are on the right. So we're all getting a skewed version of reality. One in which white on black crime is worthy of marching, but black on white crime isn't worth mentioning. Both are equally wrong. But we've been conditioned to see race first and principle second. And it's swinging the pendulum from one irrational extreme to the other. From white people being elevated to white people being denigrated. Meanwhile, black-white race relations are worse than they were at the start of the century. But why should I, a black man, care? because we all should. We're supposed to be ending racism, not flipping who gets to be racist. And if we don't correct this, many white people will become resentful and they'll swing the pendulum back to black. We can't keep doing this. In the face of evil, we must let go of racial preferences and focus on principles. All decent people must say, I don't care what color they are. A person murdering another person in cold blood is evil.
Yeah, what happened to the days where people would just say, yeah, we shouldn't be stabbing each other on the train? Like, you look at, what was the subway guy in New York? I can't remember his name. I am in a forgetful mood today. Bernie Getz, that's his name. Look at Bernie Getz. I mean, you had Bernie Getz doing vigilantism. It wasn't just white people he was helping. It wasn't just black people he was helping. He was just helping because shit went too far. We're going to have another situation where shit goes too far. It's something that is inevitably going to happen because the media hides things, and then it comes out, and because it didn't fit the narrative, now it comes out, and it's like, oh wait, yeah, we got to do something about it. We got to say something about this. And then people are outraged.
All humans must say, I don't care who started it. A boy stabbing another unarmed boy at a track meet is wrong. All mature adults must say, I don't care how mistreated you feel. A woman calling a child a racial slur is disgusting. In a race war to the bottom, no one wins.
Well, here's the problem. A lot of people cheered on the woman calling the child a racial slur. I don't even think I covered this story because I was like, that's awful. I'm not even going to acknowledge. Like, I'm not even going to give this woman the time of day. Because if you call children racial slurs, you're probably not a great person overall. Especially like out in public at a fucking park like that. Like you're not doing great. You're not a great role model. And then to double down on it. And I mean, it'd been different if she's like, you know what? I overreacted. I shouldn't have said that. I am sorry. I'm a piece of shit for that. But like, she was like, yeah, no, I said it. I meant it. I'm gonna say it again. It was, that one blew my mind. I don't remember if I covered that one. I might have covered that. I don't remember, but it was reluctant if I did. The problem we're getting here is I think there's a thing called black exhaustion or something like that. I might be using the wrong terminology here, where basically white people are like, black people, whatever, I don't care. And you're gonna get to this point where black people and white people are gonna start beefing. You're gonna get to the point where you're going to see a black guy and you're going to be like, oh my God, I don't want to deal with this guy. I don't want to deal like these people are such problems in this neighborhood. I don't want to talk to this guy. And it's going to get to that point. And then that guy becomes racist. And then the black dude's going to go, you know what? That fucking John guy, he's been a real dick lately. I don't know what his problem is, but I'm going to go tell him how I feel. I'm going to go tell him what I think about him. And then you're gonna have John and the black dude fighting in the street because John didn't want to deal with him because black people. I don't want to deal with black people. Black people are so dramatic. Black people this, black people that. I don't want to deal with black people because all I see is black people doing crime online. And then you got the black guy who's like, all I see is white people being racist because black people keep acting like fools. And I'm tired of this dude being racist. And it's a thing that it's just gonna go tit for tat, back and forth. And it's going to end up with fights and violence, and that's exactly what the left wants. That is exactly what they want. Don't fool yourself for a minute. They want to keep us distracted with bread and circuses. And if that doesn't work, we'll throw a little bit of race war in the mix. Everybody loses. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. They are trying to get us to fight because a lot of people have realized we're not so different. Democrat, Republican, black, white, we're not different. We're all doing the same thing. And a lot of people have realized that the Democrat Party has gone insane and they're leaving the left. The left needs a distraction. The left has been trying to pit this race war for a long time. Don't let them succeed. They are trying to destroy America from the inside out using racism. And it's stupid because racism doesn't exist. When I was a kid, we're done with Mr. Clear Thinker here. We're going to go ahead and dismiss that. Um, when I was a kid, I often tell these stories. When I was a kid, we would make racist jokes towards each other all the time. Not because we hated each other, because we were kids and we were being silly and edgy. And okay, was it the right thing to do? Probably not. Was it kind of mean-spirited? Yeah. But we were dudes being dudes. We were guys being guys. We made fun of the Asian kid for doing math. We made fun of the black kid for not knowing his dad. The black kids made fun of the white kids for having credit scores, which, man, I wish, because my credit score is bad. Like, it was just shit we did. It was just shit we did. We were just being assholes. But if somebody ever came at someone like that and meant it, we were all like, yo, no, back the fuck up. That ain't happening. We would tease the black kid about, oh, hey, did your dad ever find those cigarettes? He's been gone for quite a while, hasn't he? He's still looking for the Lucky Strikes, isn't he? And the black kid would be like, oh yeah, it must be nice to have an 870 credit score when you come out of the womb. And we would tease each other. But the minute somebody came out and was actually racist, we all hated him. We all hated that person. Nobody would tolerate that. And that's the difference here is you get that, it's kind of like trauma bonding, right? You get a group of people and they trauma bond, and it's like, why? We can make fun of our trauma, but if you do it, because I know you're not doing it in a nice way, you're doing it to be a dick, we're not tolerating that. My wife makes fun of my traumas and my past and my issues that I have. And I have never once been offended by it. And I make fun of the shit that she's gone through, and we tease each other about it because we understand that, yeah, it happened. There's nothing we can do to change it. The best thing we can do is have a positive outlook and move on. But if my friend were to say something about her traumas, I would be all over them. Like stink on shit. I would be all over. I probably wouldn't be friends with that person for very long. I would kick them out of my house. I would, if we were in my car, I would pull over and tell them to get the fuck out. Like, my wife and I can do it because we're sharing our traumas with each other and bonding through it. The same way when I was a kid and we would tease each other over whatever it was. The Asian kid was too good at math, so we would tease him about it. None of us did it out of a place of hate. We all did it out of, it's silly. Nobody actually believes that because Joey was Asian, he was good at math. He was just good at math. I'm just going to, objectively, okay, and I drive professionally. Asian women can't drive. Objectively, they can't. I am speaking in a matter of fact. I'm not being racist. I'm not trying to be offensive. Asian women can't drive. Just putting that out there. They can't. They make amazing food. General Tso's chicken slaps, as the kids say. I hope I used that right. Actually, I hope I didn't use that right. If I used that right, that means I'm one of them. I hope I used that wrong. General Tso's chicken is amazing. I have a funny General Tso's chicken story. So my wife loves Chinese food, and I occasionally dabble. So because I like to tease her, I always ask her if she's getting General Tso's chicken, right? Because it's spelled with a T. I don't understand why, but it's spelled with a T. So my wife ordered, ironically, General Tso's chicken and sent me to pick it up. Now, I haven't picked up Chinese food in, let's see, how long have I been alive? Carried it 2. It's a couple weeks. We'll just call it 28 years for the math's sake. I haven't gone to pick up Chinese food myself ever. It's always somebody else picks it up. Somebody else wants it. Somebody else gets it. I walked in this store, restaurant, whatever. I asked the lady if my order was ready. She goes, "What's your order?" Or she goes, "What your order number?" I don't know. My wife didn't tell me. She just sent me. "What you order?" I don't know. I know there's some general, and I stuttered, and I started to say General Tso's chicken. It was like General So's chicken, and she looks at me. This little fucking like this tall Asian lady looks at me and goes, "Everybody order that." I'm like, oh god. It was the most adorable thing ever. As I stuttered through trying not to say General Tso's chicken, and this little Asian lady has no patience for me and my stupidity. It was she was adorable because she was so small and so angry, and I like small angry things. That's why I married a Hispanic woman, because they are very small and very angry. She's not very tall. She gets wound up though. But I never once thought during that interaction, I never once thought, man, this bitch's accent's annoying. Never once. I was like, I loved it. I loved that interaction because she looked at me like I was nuts. I could barely understand her. She's looking at me like, are you an idiot? What do you mean you don't know what you ordered, you moron? And I'm like trying to explain, I didn't order, my wife ordered, she didn't give me an order number. I don't know what happened here. Never once was there a racist thought. Never once was there a, oh, I hate Asian people, man. I wish if that Asian bitch would have spoke English better. And then when I told her there's General So's chicken, she goes, every order have General So chicken. Like just appalled. Like yeah, everybody likes chicken nuggets, you idiot. Who doesn't like chicken nuggets? Get the fuck out of here. Like that was the attitude she hit me with. It was just like, everybody orders that. It's good as fuck. What's wrong with you? Are you an idiot? You not know that everybody orders that? Eventually we figured it out. It took a minute to figure it out, but we figured it out. And I got the right stuff and brought it home. I told my wife about it. She made fun of me forever. But there was never once a, oh, I don't like this Asian lady because she's got an accent and I can't. Never once. However, when I'm in traffic, and it's because there's an Asian lady, I do say the C word, and it's not cunt. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't. I just call them dumb bitches. It's universal. It applies to everyone. If you're in the left lane and you're not going at least 10 over, you're a dumb bitch. I don't care if you're a guy. I don't care if you're a chick. I don't care what you are. I don't care what bathroom you use. If you're in the left lane and you're not going at least 10 over, you're a dumb bitch. And I don't like you. That's my TED Talk. But my point, I guess the long way around the bush is racism doesn't exist if you don't let it. If you laugh at the fact, and that lady probably went home and was like, this dumb white motherfucker said General Tso chicken, how stupid he is. Look at him, he's so dumb. Like, they probably made fun of me for days. Like, conservatively, I bet they made fun of me for a week. Like, and I would have made fun of me too. There's nothing wrong with it. We just need to learn to laugh at ourselves like we used to. And when there's something like this stabbing happens, we need to just say what happened. Don't hide it because it doesn't fit the narrative. Just say a black dude stabbed a white lady and it's not okay. And when the inverse happens, say a white dude stabbed a black kid and it's not okay. Why can we not say bad thing happened and it's not okay? Why is that so hard to do? Anyway, I digress. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope that this dual stream worked, because if this dual stream works, in theory, I can save some time on, instead of doing 15 and then 30, I can just do the first segment, cut YouTube, and then just do the uncensored show like a lot of professionals do. I'm not a professional. Don't know if you know that or not. I am not a professional. That's all I have for you, though. I love you. Goodbye. Maybe not. I thought my mouse. I love you. Goodbye.